Hello, so in this video, I'm going to enter a contest from Aaron Mutha Alamare. I think the contest is the triple threat contest. Um, just first off, I'll show what I'm playing in the background. You probably can't hear it, but anyway, this is what I'm playing. Armored Saint, Delirious Nomad. Just bought this cassette recently, so I've been playing this. All right, so the first part of the contest is to shout out 3 channels. So the first one I'll shout out is 66 Marius. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I'll leave links in the description, of course. Um, it's a cool channel because, at least from the videos that I've seen, he doesn't seem to talk. What he does is he'll show you the vinyl like as a first person POV, and then he'll flip it over and show the back. And while he's doing that, he's playing a clip from the album, like one of the songs. And he'll show maybe, I don't know, 10, 20 albums. He shows all kinds of cool stuff like thrash and death metal and black metal and different things like that. And I think he's also a musician too, because there's videos of him or someone playing guitar. So anyway, that's a pretty cool channel. I think he's fairly new, but regardless, um, worth checking out if you haven't um, heard of it. The second channel I want to shout out is S&T Young. I'm sure probably a lot of people have heard of this guy or seen his videos, know of him. He's pretty cool, laid back. He shows a lot of death metal, more extreme stuff like that, and thrash. He has a lot of thrash, so it's pretty cool. And he's a bass player too. He has some videos where he's playing bass, so that's pretty cool. And the third shout out is for Scott Waters' channel. And most people in the vinyl community know who Scott Waters is. But the reason I'm shouting him out in this video is because 2 or 3 years ago, I was watching one of his videos and he had some mail from a young man called Aaron Mutha Alamare. So after watching the video, I went over to his channel and liked what I saw, and subscribed. That was pretty early. Well, not pretty early on, but it's fairly early on. I think he had like 200 or 300 subs when I jumped on the bandwagon, his bandwagon. Um, so yeah, Scott Waters. I mean, guy knows everything. It seems. I'm sure he wouldn't agree, but for me anyway, he's like, gosh, better than Wikipedia or something. All right. Anyway, so the second part of the contest was to show 3 bands in which you think their third album is their best. Okay, so I'm going to choose 3 Canadian hard rock bands. Um, so the first one is Loverboy's "Keep It Up." This was released in 1983, and I think that's part of the reason why it's my favorite. A lot of people will say um, the second or the first is the best. Everybody's different. I like the album that comes after this. Loving every minute of it. That's pretty good too. But this is my favorite because I don't know. It's when I got into Loverboy. I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, or whatever it was, 1983. And Hot Girls in Love was a big video. I guess now I'm kind of like not as. I mean, I've heard the song a gazillion times, so I guess I'm not as excited as I was back in 83, 84 for that song. But Queen of the Broken Hearts never gets old for me. It's just like I don't know, for some reason I put that on. It's like sort of trip back to 1983 or 84. So yeah, this is my favorite Loverboy. Maybe it's partly nostalgia, but it's is what it is. Might change someday. Probably won't. Hasn't in a long time. So let's keep it there. The next one is Harlequin's One False Move. I just recently bought this copy. And for a long time, I was on the fence between this one False Move, and the album before it, Love Crimes, which actually I have here too, because I'm sort of listening to them and kind of comparing them and stuff like this. This is Love Crimes. This has Innocence on it and Thinking of You, which is, yeah, a really cool song. So, but I have to say, One False Move is my favorite. I think it's better than Love Crime. It has I Did It for Love, arguably my favorite song. Um, I like to jam along with that one. Say Goodnight and Say Goodnight and Ready to Love Again. Those two songs are, bring back the nostalgia. And on side two, we have Heart Gone Cold, Superstitious Feeling. Those two songs are just, yeah, heavy talk, and It's a Woman You Need. I mean, I can't even tell which side is better. I mean, I listen to side two and I say this side's perfect. I play it again and again, and then I flip it over to side one, and it's like, no, wow, this is even better, right? I can't tell. It's just very good album. I think this is Harlequin at their peak. They put out one more album after this, which I have here close by. But anyway, they put out an album after this, and then that was kind of it, right? And then I think they had a couple more releases in the '90s and the 2000s. But so if you don't have One False Move, you should go definitely check that one out. The third one I want to mention here is Haywire Nut House. Haywire was a Canadian band in the '80s. This album was released in 1990, and there was one more after it, and that's kind of it for them. Um, uh, Canadian band from the East Coast, Canada, which is where I grew up. So they were kind of like more known there, kind of thing, than even maybe in other places in Canada. But I think in Canada, this is a fairly well known band. I don't know how well known they are in the United States or England or anywhere else. But Haywire is sort of like their first album, self titled, is they had a couple of songs. Standing in Line, I think, was one, and Bad Boys was their first release, and they had a video for it. Lyrics are a bit cheesy, but what can you say? So it's like pop rock, and then they get their second album comes out. I have it here because I was listening to determine which one is the better one. Don't Just Stand There. And this one came out in '87. So there's the band there. Obviously, this guy's the singer, he's front and foremost. You have this guy right here is the guitar player. He's the only one not standing up, even though the title of the album's Don't Just Stand There. And then this guy here's the drummer, and then over here is the bass player, and then the keyboard player. So it's like a five-piece band. So it's like Loverboy and like Harlequin keyboards. It's a hard rock keyboard. But this is I wouldn't call this pop rock, but it's rock. It's again, it's not as heavy as I think, as I understand it, that they want it to be. And then when this comes out, Nut House, it's getting heavier now. I mean, there's a hard rock vibe to it. It's not Helix yet or anything at that to that degree, but it's rocking, and that's why it's my favorite. I mean, the other ones are have good like pop catchy tunes and stuff like this, but this one's just more rocking all the way around. I have this on cassette too. I'd love to get it on CD. We'll see. So anyway, those are my three picks. Take care.